Hey, so I got a new mixture shirt, which is covered in hair, which is great. Um, and I was sent some flavors along with my shirt orders. So I figured I would try them out. These are called VSO flavors. They're by Vaping Swag. So it's like Vaping Swag Originals is the acronym spelled out or whatever. I've heard a lot of good things about their fruits from certain people. Lumi being one of them. She really likes them. Fresh said he likes them. So I figured we would give them a go. I want to make a disclaimer that, as you guys mostly know, I'm very picky. So take my opinions with a grain of salt. It's just my opinion. I will say that they smell good. So we'll see. I'm going to start with strawberry, blueberry, and then do one of the like one-shot type things. I'm guessing that's what they are. This one is the Merry Minty Mocha, which is like a peppermint mocha, I imagine. I do like the bottles they come in. We'll see how friendly they are to scales. Now, these you do have to mix fairly high. So the fact that it's a bigger dripper bottle type situation shouldn't be that big of a deal, but we shall see. I did write the recommended percentages on the bottle themselves just because I find that easier. They do have the percentages on the site, so it's not like a huge secret or anything. I just prefer them to be on the bottle. So we're going to try to do, like I said, about 3 of them. I did pull a couple others just in case we had time, but we'll see. So I probably should have chat open. I don't. And that's not going to work. All right, so the strawberry is recommended at 7% on their site. The average on ELR, however, is 3.27. I'm guessing that's going to be in mixes mainly. So I think we're going to do 4. Just because. And I've been having have been having issues tasting strawberry. So normally I would go like half of what is recommended, but it's like a little bit higher just because I've been having issues tasting still. It seems to have gotten better, but I don't know. I don't know if my taste buds are just permanently broken. I don't know. The weird thing is nobody can really explain it to me, but I don't have issues tasting like anything outside of vaping. It's just certain flavors in vape form. So maybe it's just certain chemicals or components that I'm having the issues tasting. I'm not entirely sure. All right, so I have chat up. No one's really talking though. So I'll just keep going. Has anyone or did anyone get a chance to watch the Trump hearing, or I don't even know what you would call it, but basically his session open to talking about vaping. It's about, I want to say it was an hour long, but I don't think it was that long. Maybe it just didn't feel like it was that long. I honestly, when he said he was going to be meeting with all these people, I didn't really believe him. I figured he'd probably meet with all the people that are against it and make a decision that way, which obviously would not have been good for us. But he didn't. He actually invited Greg Connolly from VTA, along with a couple of other people, one including Enjoy. Jewel was there, although they didn't really help us all that much. And then there was like a vape shop owner, I believe. So it seemed like a fairly good mix of different opinions, which was nice. And I'm not a Trump fan, but I will say that I was impressed with how he handled it so far. We'll see how it ends up turning out. But I mean, so far he seemed to be open to suggestions and receptive, which again, I wasn't sure that was going to be the case, because so far pretty much everyone in the government stance has been very closed off to anything vape related being positive. It's all just, it's detrimental to people's health and the kids, blah, blah, blah. I do find listening to these things very frustrating, because literally every single one of them, it's just filled with such BS that we know is not true. Shike your palate? What? It's just very frustrating to hear the same lies spread over and over again, as I'm sure you guys can relate to. But I don't know. Overall, I think it went better than I would expected. Obviously, there were certain parts that were not very good. And it got very heated. I don't think I could do... Actually, I know I couldn't do a debate like that personally. I would just get so frustrated over people just spreading bullshit. I couldn't just sit back and let that happen. I would get very upset. So yeah, I applaud Greg for everything he's been doing and just how well spoken he is, and he's passionate without being belligerent or letting emotions, ruin what he's saying and the important things that he says. He's just very well spoken and a great representation of the community. So yeah, follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. I am not a proponent of Twitter. I never really used it before this whole thing started. I would share my links for my shows, and that's about it. I find platforms like that and what Facebook has become to just be like people oversharing every aspect of their life to the point where I just don't care. So I don't know. I don't like sharing everything. Like if I'm going to the store, like people don't need to know. Sniff coffee. Yeah, I've heard that before. I'm sure like short term that would help, but like if I have to sniff coffee every time I vape, that's probably not proficient. Or proficient, I don't think is the right word. All right, let's see how these drop. So these do drop pretty large amounts. Like my favorite drip tips or bottle tips, whatever, for mixing, like the flavors, are the narrower ones because they're more precise. Like right now I over dripped slightly with the flavor amount. See, they're pretty large, and I did even close them off a little bit. Whereas like something like this, which this is just like my actual mix, but you see how the tip is very narrow. It allows for like smaller drops and thus like a little bit more precision, but it is what it is. I'm also only mixing a 10 of these, or actually I think I did 5, just like a little tester bottle. So it is a little bit harder to get such small amounts or whatever. I think depends on if I can find it. I think I wanted to retry a mix I did last time we were on to see if it changed at all. I think it was like a candy mix that was a little bit discombobulated, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I've been trying to keep... It seems like when I try to organize, I just end up losing stuff. Which flavors? That one was strawberry. I'm also going to do blueberry. A lot of people rave about the blueberry, and it smells very good. It smells very similar to Illusion Vapors blueberry, and they also extract their own blueberry using real fruit. So it tastes very similar to that, or smells very similar to that. So if it's anything like it, it would be very good because they make a very good blueberry. They're one of the very first commercial type juices that I actually liked. And I still like them. I bought from them a couple years ago. They're not quite as good as I remember. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the equipment I was using or if I've just become so used to DIYing. I don't know. But didn't taste quite as good as I remembered for some of them. Or they could have changed their formula. Sometimes that, or their recipe. Sometimes that happens. But they're still, I would still vape them over probably 98% of other commercial juices. Allison Vape Land was also one that I enjoyed back in the day. I don't know how they would stand up to today for me. I don't know. I don't see the point of buying commercial juice. The only time I would do that is if I were at a vape expo. This is pretty much the only thing you can buy there. There's like a couple of like hardware stands, but it's mainly e-liquid. ELR just like said no. Yeah, I do have the grape over here. If we have time, I might mix it. I don't find myself using grape flavor that often, so I figured I would go with the flavors that I'm more interested in to start and go from there. Now, these are, as far as I know, all extracted from the real fruit. And there's a process to do that, quote unquote, safely, that extracts all of the solid matter and things of that nature. I am not versed in this, so I don't have the answers to any questions you would have about the process. But it sounds similar to what Medicine Flavors uses to extract their flavors, because they're also extracted from the actual thing. So we need blueberry. Well, the reason I said I think is because he does have one shots as well, and I don't know how those are done. I know the fruits are done from the real fruit, but like this Merry Minty Mocha, I don't know if every component in that is like extracted as well. I'm not entirely sure. There is not a black currant. At least not that I'm aware of. Trying to like close this off as much as I can without closing it off. Whoa, it just like went everywhere. That's lovely. Well, at least I like blueberry, so if it smells like blueberry, it won't be a bad thing. And we're gonna do 4.5 for this one, a little bit higher than the strawberry, just because that was what is recommended. Is this one's a little bit higher of a recommended percentage than the strawberry, and I'm getting blueberry all over me. Yeah, and I definitely smell like blueberry. I'm not mad at that though. Now, if I could only figure out what the rest of the mix in that one mix from Illusion is, because it's a blueberry blend of something. There's other stuff in it that they don't really disclose, because I think this would make it easy or easier to, because I've tried to quote unquote clone that juice and got nowhere close to it. It's a very unique flavor. It's blueberry and then maybe some pineapple and like a candied sugary note, but not having the right blueberry would definitely make that harder as well. So this would get me feasibly one step closer to being able to have something similar to that flavor, which would be nice, because that was my favorite flavor from them. It was called, God, it started with an S. Star. Yeah, I got some other shirts, one of which I'll be wearing later on the Mix and Vixens, which you'll have to wait to see which one that one is. And I got a third one, which I'll probably wear the next time I am on Fresh's show. All right, so we're going to do this Merry Minty Mocha. This one is recommended at 30%, which is pretty high, but it is a one shot, which they do tend to be higher percentage-wise overall. I had the weirdest dream about vape gear last night. Henry was looking for an RDA. And I asked Mike Vapes what he would recommend. Why him? I don't know. I think it's because I like the icon and I was wanting something that he made. And like he gave me one that he hadn't come out with yet. And it looked very weird. And Brian also had a tank that he came out with that also looked very strange. All right, so this Merry Minty Mocha, does it have a average? No. I think we're going to do 20%. No. Yeah, we're going to do 20%. I couldn't even do 30 if I wanted to because I don't vape 70. I try to avoid 70-30, especially dripping. So we're going to do 20 and see what happens. I'm also very picky about coffee flavors. There's only like, I think 3 that I particularly like as far as actual flavorings. And the only actual mixes I've tried, like actual like pre-made stuff, there's 2 of them. One of which is from an actual extract from coffee. And that's by Philip Rock. Their creme de la creme is really good. It does need to sit for a while. I don't know why, but like after it sits for like ever, it actually smooths out quite a bit. I mean, we're talking like months, which is frustrating, but whatever. I did try the honey version of it. I wasn't as impressed with that personally. It still was good, but it wasn't like the original. And I think there was a 3rd version. I'm not entirely sure. But I've tried other mixes he's made or other juices that he's made. And I was not impressed. I was kind of disappointed. Actually, I was very disappointed because there was a couple of people that I trust their opinions on things. And I don't know, it was just way off to me. But that's the problem you have with things like a flavoring review. Everyone's tastes are different and people's vaping styles are different. Like they vape much higher wattage and everything than I do. So their vape is a lot hotter and that does play a role in your flavor. So That's why I try to take other people's opinions on things with a grain of salt, especially for me, because I'm so picky. Yeah, I was not impressed. There's very few commercial e-liquids that I like. Lazarus Spinach is one of them. I do like theirs. Like I said, Illusion was good. Not as good as I remember back in the day, but it's still decent. Ah. 467. Who else? What is that one place? They make the custard, the killer custard. Vaptasia. They actually make some good stuff. I had a sneeze. Or do I? I hate that feeling. That preemptive sneeze and then it never comes. What? What is your problem? Me. Mama has been acting very strange. I don't know what her deal is, but I think I found that candy mix I was talking about. So we'll try that. We'll pull out one of these. I know it's a very slick setup I have here. The Asgard Mini. No, never heard of it. So we took out the strawberry, shake that up. Now my RDAs, I like to be on the bigger side, or at least like not small. Like I don't like the compact RDAs. They get too hot for me. They're too condensed. I don't like them. I like a lot of airflow. Even though I vape low wattage, I still like a lot of airflow. And I like to be able to put my coil directly in the center, because I still just do single coils. I do not like dual coils. So when I'm dripping, I like to just drip down the center. I don't like to have to take my top cap off, paint the coil, that kind of thing. I don't like to have to do that. Ever since the drop where I'm able to put it in the center and just drip down the middle, that's what I like to do. Before that, I would have to take the top cap off every time I wanted to drip. Because otherwise, if you're just dripping and hoping it's going to get like on the one side opposed to the other, like it doesn't always turn out well. In my case, it usually never turned out well. So, but I'll have to look into it. I'm looking for, oh my God, speaking of which, remember how I was telling you guys like months ago, I was looking for like a clear mod. Vicious Ant came out with this beautiful mod. Number one, it's like I couldn't find it anywhere. Number two, it was so expensive. It was like, he said $500 for that one. I'm like, oh no. Nope. Not on my paycheck. I don't know. Like, I'd have to be making a lot of money to justify spending that much for a mod, especially a single battery. No. It was gorgeous, though. I'm not going to lie. It's a very stunning look to it. But, oh, and I don't like the menu, too. The menu looks very tacky. Like, you have, like, a sexy-ass design like it has, and then you throw an Evolve chip set on it. No. It looks so bad. I don't know why it looks so bad, but it does. So, for those 3 reasons, I will not be buying it. Well, most of my RDAs that I use in single coil mode are meant to be dual coil. You can sometimes use them interchangeably. Like the drop, you can put whatever you want in it, really. And I'm using the drop dead, but to me it's the drop because it's the deck that is what I like. The airflow is nice as well, but my main key is being able to just plop that coil right in the middle and not have to deal with it. Where are my scissors? All right, so we're going to try this candy mix first. I probably should have pulled up that recipe. This was a couple weeks ago. We had tried doing something, and at first mix or taste, it was not that good. It was just very muddled. So I did fizzy sherbet, pineapple candy, and strawberry taffy by Capella. Now, theoretically, this should be a bomb mix because all of those flavors are solid flavors. And strawberry taffy tends to get along with most things you put it with it, at least in my experience, especially fruit-wise. But for some reason, all these 3 together were fighting. And that's why you can't always go by what sounds like it'll be good. It doesn't always work that way. I will look into that RDA. I don't know that I need any more mods per se. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could always use extra mods, especially now with everything happening. I'm just paranoid that like I won't have something that works. I mean, worst comes to worst, there's mechs. And mechs, for as much as crap as I give them about how I don't really like them, like in the end, there's not much that could go wrong with it as far as it not working. Whereas I've gone through so many of, your regulated type mods. And I guess if you had to make one, which I don't think I'd ever be like confident enough to do that personally, I imagine a mech would be infinitely more easy to do. Or easier to do, whatever. Yeah, I've been using the Aegis. I keep calling it Agus, and people keep giving me crap for it. So I'm trying to get used to saying Aegis because I guess that's how people pronounce it. To me, it sounds weird. It sounds like I'm saying ageist, like prejudice to someone's age. I guess Agus sounds kind of like an old woman. I don't know which one's better. But I've been using that since I got it. And then this, I got in the same order, the Wismec Vicious or whatever, Sinuous. Just for testing purposes, though. It's only a single battery. So, I was supposed to be doing the candy. Damn it, I got distracted. All right, well, we're going to do strawberry first. It won't clash with the candy. We'll do the candy after. See, this is what happens when I get talking and not paying attention. All right, so this is the VSO strawberry at 4%, I believe. So I taste strawberry, so that's good. It is sweet. trying to think of what it tastes similar to. Because mind you, I haven't been able to taste strawberries in pretty much since my issues started happening. Wonder why it's like, why is it particular flavors that seem to get lost quicker? Like, you hear about people that are blind to certain flavors, and it's almost always strawberry, and people have issues with vanilla. And the vapor doesn't smell bad. It smells like strawberry. I've become more sensitive to the way your vapor smells as well. Because sometimes it'll be funky, and I can't vape something that leaves that kind of a weird smell everywhere. It's just not pleasant. All right, so now we're going to do the candy that I meant to do to begin with. This is the Fizzy Sherbet, which is a citrus type blend. It's not really like a sherbet like we're familiar with them, like the ice cream. It's more of, I guess in Australia they have like a candy. It's kind of like a pixie stick type thing. It's like a pixie stick plus something else. I don't remember what it was, but it was like a combination of two different things. But it's more like a pixie stick type thing. Pineapple Candy by Wonder Flavors and Strawberry Taffy by Capella. See if it's changed at all. Okay, it's definitely improved. Fizzy Sherbet is what I'm getting most of. If you've never had that flavor, it's an excellent flavor. It is available at Bull City if you want to try it. If you like citrusy type things or even candied type things, it's a very good flavor just by itself. The strawberry is what I get after that. It's like the first hit is like the initial taste is that lemon lime flavor, mainly lime. So it's like a lime, lemon. Then after taste or whatever is like a strawberry. That pineapple kind of just disappeared. And as I'm vaping it more, I'm picking up more of the strawberry, which is weird. But yeah, it's definitely improved. It's definitely something I could actually vape, opposed to a couple weeks ago when I would not go out of my way to vape this. I'm not one of those people that can like hate vape through something. I just can't. And it's very wasteful. That's why I try to do like little batches, like 10 or even 5 mils, because I just never end up vaping the rest of it. And I know it's like very cheap, but I still don't want to be wasteful. Well, I've been vaping since 2010. And the weird thing is I never had issues until about, I want to say 2 years ago. Ironically, I don't think it's when I started using RDAs exclusively, but it wasn't shortly that much after. So it could be using RDAs. I don't know, because RDAs tend to be more flavorful. Tanks are better now than they were flavor-wise, but I don't know. I've always gotten better flavor out of a RDA. So I don't know if it's that or if it's just I'm vaping more. I do vape more than I used to. I don't know. Or it could just be that I'm testing so many things compared to what I used to do. I don't really honestly know what it is. I don't. Because I used to be able, like, I've always been the type of person to vape one thing until I get sick of it. And then I just, do something else. But now it's like, if I continue to vape something, it just gets to the point where I can't taste it anymore. And then I have all the problems. So what I've been trying to do is just force myself to switch it up. I'll do like a 30 mil or 230 mils. And then I'm like, okay, I need to vape something else. Because if I don't, I might not be able to taste it anymore. And then I'm going through a bunch of issues. And it's not water. I drink a lot of water. So it's definitely not that. Oh, where's my drink? That just happened. Knocking everything everywhere. All right. We're going to move on to blueberry. Yeah, I've heard the coffee bean thing, but my thing is like, do you have to do that every time you vape? Or is it like, I don't know. I'm going to have to try it just to see what happens. But I don't really drink a whole lot of coffee. Not that I don't like it. I do like coffee. It's just my caffeine is usually this. I have one of these in the morning, and the rest of the day I drink water. So if I'm getting coffee, it's usually just at Starbucks. I get coffee like maybe once a week. And it's like an iced coffee. I'm not a huge fan of hot coffee. Actually, it's more so my stomach doesn't like hot coffee. For some reason, cold coffee is fine, but like hot coffee, I don't know if it's just more acidic or whatever the case may be, but it's just, I don't know. My body doesn't like hot beverages. So basically the short and long of that is I don't really have coffee around to just be sniffing. Yeah, I know what sniffing coffee does, but what I'm saying is if I'm having trouble vaping just period, like a mix that I make, am I going to have to sniff a coffee bean every time I want to take a pull? Like, it's not very... Ma'am? Do you mind? I should have moved that damn... I bought them new food, and ever since then, they've just been pawing at the bag. Even though they have food. Actually, I do have pickled ginger. I bought pickled ginger for a sauce mix. So I actually do have that. I found that, like, I always said that I didn't like ginger. I guess it depends on what it is, because I had this, do I still have the wrapper? Yeah, so I bought, or I didn't buy this. This was at, I think, my masseuse's office. She always has, like, little candies. And I picked this up because I figured, why not? It's Prince of Peace Ginger Chews. It's 100% natural. And I really liked it. It's almost like, and I've heard this before, that like ginger has like a little bit of like a kick to it, like almost like a spiciness to it. And it was actually pretty good. It somewhat reminded me of tamarind. Like that kind of, not that it tastes similar, but it has like a similar profile, I guess. And I do like tamarind. So I actually bought some of those specifically because they were good. And I do like ginger ale, which to me doesn't really taste like ginger. Or real ginger anyway. I don't know. Maybe it does. But I do like Canada Dry ginger ale, and I think Schweppes or however you pronounce it. And there's one other one I like, but I don't like Verner's. I think Verner's is disgusting. And it's very funny. It seems like you're either on one camp or another. You either love Vernors and hate other ginger ale, or you like other ginger ale and you hate Vernors. It's like literally every single person I've ever talked to. That's the way it is. It's so weird. And it seems to be very prevalent in Michigan. Like a lot of people in Michigan like Vernors, and I don't know why. Excuse you. What is up with you in doing that? Don't do that. No. No. She likes to get her head stuck in plastic bags. Don't you? It's like a habit. I don't know if she's like getting off on the carbon monoxide or something. I don't know. She's a weird cat. Anyway, yeah, it's like a Mexican candy. I don't know if it's specifically just Mexican candy, but it's definitely popular in Mexican candy. Yeah. I don't know. So Vernors doesn't then? Yeah, so this blueberry definitely tastes like the one in Illusions mix. Stardust, I think it's called. I love sushi. Actually sounds really good. Unfortunately, there's not many places directly around me that have good sushi. So this blueberry is hard to describe outside of just like it tastes like an actual blueberry. It's different in that most blueberries, even the good ones, are a little bit perfumey. And they're a little off. They're a little bit more like candied blueberry than actual blueberry. If I had to compare it to anything, maybe Bilberry by Flavor Art after it steeps for like a week. Maybe. That's like the closest flavor to it that I can think of. It's a good blueberry though. I did it at 4%. I might have to bump it up to like a 4.5 like I did with the strawberry. But yeah, it's a good blueberry. Now you're doing it? Really? You guys act like you're starving. Earthy notes. Not really. You get like a little bit of the skin, like the outer flesh of the blueberry, but not like overly fleshy. But for me, if I'm looking for an authentic blueberry or berry, I do want a little bit of the flesh. But I guess it's personal preference, but I wouldn't say it's overly earthy, or I wouldn't even describe it as earthy. It's a little fleshy. Just a little bit. Like to me, the earthiest fruit flavor I can think of is probably TFA Strawberry Ripe. It's a little green, which I like. That's something that I actually like. I wouldn't say that this is in the same category, if that helps at all. So I bowled pretty crappy last night. I was getting very frustrated. It didn't help that I usually practice every Wednesday, but my brother, who I usually go with, because we're on the same league together, he bailed. And my sister, who was also supposed to come that week or that day, also bailed. And it's like, didn't really feel like going by myself. And I was in a little bit of pain. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm sitting this one out. But I don't think I'll be doing that in the future. I think even if they bail, I'll probably end up having to go, at least until I can get more consistent. Because it's like, I feel like I'll think I've figured it out, and then I bowl, and I was like, oh, I guess not. Like the last series of games for League was my best series ever since starting to do reactive ball. And then this week, mind you, it wasn't my lowest series. It was probably my second highest series, but that's not really saying much because I was bowling like 90s and 80s previously with the occasional over the 100, but I don't know. It's very frustrating when you think you figure something out and then you haven't, and you start doing the things you were doing before. I will say, like, I can hook the ball now, but now I'm hooking it too much and it's going way too far left to the point where there's sometimes where it just misses all the pins because it hooks so damn much. And it's like a certain way you have to throw it, and I'm doing it too much. I don't know. It's very frustrating though. All right, where did that other, oh, it's still in here. Oh shit. I forgot about it. And this is really hot. And I've watched like YouTube videos, like tutorial things. I've read tutorials of like how to throw it. And it's like the YouTube videos, you can't really see the way that their hand is moving. And I don't really even know if it's possible to get a good enough angle to be able to properly see it. So it doesn't help me. And the whole football thing, like throwing a spiral football, I haven't thrown a football since like, I don't know, second grade. So that doesn't help me at all either. And I wasn't good at throwing it then. And I really don't want to have to buy a football just to do that. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to. I don't know. You got your string? You want to play fetch? Give me the string. Go get it. You have to bring it closer if you want me to throw it again. I don't know. She's in a mood. Anyway, I don't know. For some reason, she loves this one string. I don't know if you can see her. You can see her tail. Yeah. You crazy? You all right? Anyway. I didn't notice I was this high up. The cats like to mess with my stuff. They walk on this damn window behind here, like behind the screen, and it pushes forward my monitor, which is actually my old HD TV that I never use because I don't watch TV anymore. But they broke my computer monitor because they kept walking behind it and it pushed it forward and it would fall into the desk and do that too many times. And yeah, it was broke. I even moved their cat tree thing by the window so they stopped doing it as much, and it helped, but they're still doing it to some degree. So basically, the point of all that was when they push this forward, it moves the webcam. Go get it. She is a very good cat, though. That's why I can't get too mad at them. So it's not like she does anything super bad. Like, she doesn't scratch on my shit. Or if she does, like, the one thing that she does is scratch on my box spring. But I think it's because I have an old box spring in the other room that they climb on and stuff. So she doesn't know the difference between it's okay to fuck with that one, but not this one. But if I tell her no, she stops. And then they do the walking behind the monitor thing, and that's it. Like, they don't mess on anything. They don't pee on anything, even though I think it's mainly a male cat thing to do. I don't know. But yeah, she's a very sweet cat, very much like a dog, but that's the type of breed she is. She's a ragdoll and Maine Coon. Very friendly. They like people. They'll come up to you if you call to them. My dad actually loves her, and he does not like cats, but he likes her because she's like a dog. Unlike Momo, who likes like 2 or 3 people in the world, and that's it. And only when she wants to like them. Right, Momo? But she's also a good cat. She doesn't scratch on anything or whatever. Stop. Anyway. Does anyone have any questions? Because after I vape this, I'm probably going to bounce. Play some Call of Duty. That's what I do in my downtime. I'm happy that Thanksgiving is this week. Not because of Thanksgiving. I don't even know if I'm doing anything for Thanksgiving. But because I'll be off work. And it'll be a short week. Hopefully it'll go by quickly. Because I need a freaking break. All right. Merry Minty Mocha. Getting back to the mocha, the other coffee I liked was by, I don't even remember the name. It's been so long. But it's one that I think Heavy has at his shop. It was the one that God, I can't remember anything. That doesn't help at all. I have a pomegranate mango? I do not. Can already tell you I'm not a huge fan of the coffee note. Let me see if I can find one that looks good for you. Pomegranate and mango is not something I'd ever thought of putting together, to be honest. ELR is acting up. So the coffee note in this has like that little bit of skunkiness to it, like the Kona coffee type deal, and I hate Kona coffee, at least flavoring wise. I don't know that I've ever actually tried it in real life, so I can't attest to that, but I know in coffee, like vape flavorings, I hate it. Everything else about it though is fine. Like the mint isn't super crazy. Like it doesn't taste like you're vaping Listerine or anything or toothpaste, which is good. It has a smoothness to it, like a creaminess to it. I just don't like the coffee note in it. Hi, Phenom. No, I don't have any good chicken and waffle mixes. Very funny, though. Phenom's a good dude. He was at the vape rally. I saw him on video. I wasn't, unfortunately, there, but good dude. I haven't seen him in years, though, because vape expos are kind of, I think they're pretty much done. At least where I live, unfortunately. Maybe next time I'll try to do a pomegranate mango, because it's not something that I've done before. Yeah, so Phenom says that he'll be at City Hall on Tuesday with Mike Vapes. Everyone in New York City should show up. Hello, Ray. So yeah, a summary of everything is I like the strawberry and the blueberry. Both taste like the actual fruit. The strawberry is definitely sweeter than the blueberry. The blueberry just has like the kind of natural sweetness that you would have like with a blueberry, but it's not like overly sweet. The strawberry is definitely sweeter. To me, it's still not overly sweet. It's definitely sweeter than the blueberry. I don't particularly like the Merry Mint Mocha. Gonna be honest. I don't like the coffee note in it. I get like the skunky Kona coffee type flavor that I just don't like. So yeah, check them out at Vaping Swag Originals. I'll put a link in. Am I even allowed to put links in? I know I can't put them in the description anymore, apparently, which is so annoying. This is what I don't get. So allegedly, we're not allowed to put links to products in our description box anymore. That's according to Jay, and I'm not saying that he's lying or anything. I just want to know if it depends on what it is for. It seems like it doesn't, because I think he said he got in trouble for linking cotton or something ambiguous that isn't really related to vaping. But like, I watch a lot of beauty channels, like makeup reviewer type things. They have tons of links in their descriptions. Like, I haven't heard any of them complaining about it or saying that they've gotten stricken or anything. So does it matter like that it's specifically vaping and that's why you can't do it? Because I'm confused and annoyed, because it's like I don't even know what I'm allowed to do anymore. Like, there's so many things going on. Like, if I had to just walk away from YouTube at this point, I would be fine with it. There are a couple of good coffee flavorings. Mullenberry makes some. They're French coffee roast or French coffee something, and a dark roast. Both of those are good, as well as Wonder Flavors Smooth Cappuccino. All good coffee flavors if you're looking for them. I can't think of any other ones that I like though. Hangson has one. It's a caramel mocha or something like that. That's actually good, which surprised me because I didn't expect to like it. But yeah, I'll put this in the description or this thing. Also, our one shots at ECX are still a thing. You can get those. I have the Waterberry Breeze, which is a watermelon blueberry citrus blend with a slight cooling note. It's very mild though. It's nothing like it's not menthol. Just put that out there. Because I still, even though I have embraced cooling agents, I still don't like menthol yet. We'll see if that ever changes. But yeah, it's very subtle though. And Addie likes it. I think Vapor Ross Vape said he liked it. My dad even liked it, even though he didn't know what it was. He's not very good at describing flavors or anything like that. Well, the messed up thing about it is, like, it seems like they're attacking the wrong people, which seems to be a common trend just across the board. Like, you have people that are very problematic and very somewhat dangerous on this platform, yet they seem to be doing just fine and have been doing fine for years, even though they're doing very sketchy, shady, borderline illegal things. But you have someone that's linking cotton in their description and getting a flag. Like, I don't get it. All right, so I'm going to put this over here as well. After they run through these, I don't know if they're going to continue doing them. We're kind of in the dark about the whole situation. But yeah, I can do that. What else? Oh, you can get a mixture shirt if you so choose to at vapingswag.com. Like I said, I got some other shirts, one of which I'll be wearing on the Mix and Vixens in a few hours at 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing our cake. It's a green and white with, I don't like to say what it is because it's it's up to your interpretation what it is. So technically, I think it's like a creme de menthe type cake looking thing, but who knows what route we went with it. So we'll be doing that. But yeah, I think that's about it. If I don't see you guys, have a good Thanksgiving if you do that holiday. And keep talking on Twitter. I know it sounds, to me, it sounds asinine to be doing like political or I don't even know if it's political, but like things like this, like advocacy type things on Twitter. But it seems to be getting the most attention. So share things, post things, tag people. But yeah, do that. Follow Kasa, Greg Connolly. I follow a bunch of people: Mike Vapes, Grim Green, Suck My Mod. He's not Suck My Mod anymore. SMM Matt. Follow those people so you kind of know what's going on. Jay Hayes. Follow them. Figure out what's going on. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving or happy holidays, and I'll see you guys hopefully tonight if you watch Vix and Vixens. Other than that, you'll see me on Fresh's show and then eventually back on this channel. But I'm going to get out of here. Bye.